Hello my viewers, welcome once again to my channel Israeli Math Concept. In this tutorial, I'm going to state the Pythagoras Theorem and as well show you how to use Pythagoras Theorem to solve a practical problem. Remember that Pythagoras Theorem is used whenever you are asked to find the remaining side of a given right angle triangle, having given the other two sides of it. That means whenever the two sides of a given right angle triangle is given and you are asked to find the remaining side of that given right angle triangle, it is ideal to use Pythagoras theorem to find the other side of it. Alright, I want to go into stating the Pythagoras theorem before we go into solving a problem as regarding to Pythagoras theorem. Let's begin with this diagram. If I have a right angle triangle of this form, let me call it triangle A, B, and C. And this is a right angle triangle because one of its angle is 90 degrees. And I labeled it triangle A, B, C. Now, if I consider here to be my theta, wherever my theta is facing directly is referred to the opposite side of this given right angle triangle. And remember, the slanty or the longest side of this given right angle triangle, or where this angle 90 is facing directly, is called the hypotenuse side of this given right angle triangle. That means the hypotenuse side of a given right angle triangle is easily recognized by number one, it is the slanty side of a given right angle triangle. The second one is that it is the longest side of a given right angle triangle. Then thirdly, it is where the angle 90 is facing directly. Then the remaining side of this given right angle triangle, which is the base BC, is the adjacent side. Now I want to state the Pythagoras theorem. And Pythagoras theorem states that in a given right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse side of this given right angle triangle, the square of its hypotenuse side is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides. The sum of the square of the other two sides. And remember, the other two sides are the opposite side. So the square of the opposite side plus the square of the adjacent side. I want to repeat the Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem states that in a given right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse side of that given right angle triangle is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides of the right angle triangle. And of course, the other two sides is the side opposite and adjacent respectively. Remember, one can easily interchange the square of the opposite side and the square of the adjacent side. That means whichever one you put first before the other, it doesn't matter. The reason is because addition is commutative. Because 2 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 plus 2. This is commutativity as a property. Hence, you can still put adjacent before opposite, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is to state your theorem, which is Pythagoras theorem, correctly. That the square of the hypotenuse side of a given right angle triangle is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides of the remaining triangle. Alright, we want to go into solving practical problem using Pythagoras theorem. Now, in this given problem, we have triangle A, B, and C. And in this given triangle A, B, and C, because of this perpendicular line drawn from the point A to point D, it now splitted this given triangle ABC into two triangles, which are triangle ABD and triangle ACD. So we are asked to find the side Y, which is this side from this point B to this point D. That is the side Y we are asked to find. Alright, before we go into finding this given side Y, we should first of all know our side X, such that we can now apply this Pythagoras theorem to find this given side Y. So how do we find x first of all? Remember your trigonometric ratio, which says that the sine of any angle is equal to opposites all over hypotenuse, and the cosine of any given angle is equal to adjacent all over hypotenuse, and also the tan, that is the tangent of a given angle, is equal to opposite all over adjacent. Alright, looking at this given angle 30, it is facing opposite to side AD, which is x. Then side AC as well is 8 centimeter. So we look for the trigonometric ratio that relates to opposite and hypotenuse, and that is sine theta. Hence, our sine theta is now opposite over hypotenuse. And now the theta is the angle 30. Hence, we have that sine 30 degree is equal to, and our opposite is where this angle 30 degree is facing directly, which is our x all over. The hypotenuse is the longest side of this given triangle ACD, which is 8 centimeter all over 8. So when we now cross multiply, remember sine 30 is something as sine 30 over 1, such that x multiply 1, we still have x. And that is equal to 8 multiply sine 30, we have 8 sine 30. Such that x is equal to 8 times, remember the trigonometric ratio of sine 30 using special angle is 1 over 2. Such that x is equal to 8 multiply 1 is 8 all over 2, and x is equal to 8 divided by 2, we now have 4. We have succeeded in finding side AD, and that is 4, and that is 4 centimeter. But we are asked to find side y and not even side x. But the reason why we first of all find side x is because we cannot find side y without knowing side x. Hence, since we've succeeded in finding our side x, which is 4 centimeter, so our x now is 4 centimeter. Now we want to find the side y, which is the real side we were asked to find. So how do we find the side y? It is very simple. We now use Pythagoras Theory. And Pythagoras Theory states that the square of the hypotenuse side of a given right angle triangle is equal to the sum of the side of the other two sides. Now, the hypotenuse side of this triangle ABD, the hypotenuse side of it is 5. So we have that the hypotenuse is 5 all squared, which is equal to the opposite side is where this angle theta is facing directly, and the opposite side is the side AD, which is the side x, and it is 4 centimeter as we were able to find. Then we substitute the opposite with 4 centimeter all squared, plus the adjacent side is the remaining side BD, which is the y we are asked to find. Then we put y all squared, such that 5 squared is the same thing as 5 times 5, which is 25, and that is equal to 4 squared is 4 times 4, and 4 times 4 is 16, plus y squared. And this is the same thing as saying 25, 16 coming to the other side of the equation will be now negative 16, and that is equal to y squared. Such that 25 minus 16, we have 9, and 9 is equal to y squared. This implies that when we take the square root of both sides, hence we have square root of 9 is equal to square root of y squared, such that the square will cancel out the square root. Then this implies that our y is equal to square root of 9 is 3. So our y is 3, and we succeeded in finding the side y. Remember, Pythagoras Theorem states that in a given right angle triangle, the square of the hypotenuse side of that given right angle triangle is equal to the sum of the square of the other two sides of the triangle. Now, remember also that Pythagoras Theorem is used whenever we are given two sides of a given right angle triangle and we are required to find the other side of it, which is the remaining side. The ideal theorem we are supposed to use in finding the remaining side of it is Pythagoras Theorem. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for watching. Remember to follow me on Facebook and also to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Israeli Math Concept, so that whenever I drop a new math content, you will be notified. Thank you and see you next time. Goodbye.